sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver Common Sense Show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expected 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to shrmedia.com. Just click on the chat room button. Join the conversation. If you want to be part of the broadcast, that's easy. It's easy. And you can watch a live broadcast and chat at the same time. Just go to Reaver.one and click on the live stream. And you can go right there into the live chat and I should say, not or, and you can watch a live broadcast. I'm running majorly behind, and I'm trying to get things up and going. And I do what I'm going to be talking about. I don't want to say script because it's not a script. But everything I'm going to be talking about is kept in the cloud. Well, for some reason today, it's not updating, and I can't get to it. And I'm just having a pain in the ass time trying to get to my script. And it's pissing me off. So, do you want to support the show? Support SHR Media? It's very easy. Go to Reaver.one. Go to Reaver.one. Click on the shop button. Or you can go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. You got t-shirts, you got bracelets. We got Survivor bracelets. They are custom made when you order them. These are not those cheap Walmart. I know I shouldn't use corporate names, but those big box stores that have the pre-made. They're not even $5.50 paracord. If you look, it's missing a lot of the strings. It's cheaply made. Those big box stores, they're mass-produced and easily fall apart. So, what else do we got? You can get a pocket Constitution. Yes, you can. You can carry around our Constitution and know what it says at any given moment. You don't have to memorize the whole thing. And also, you got people that, prove it to me what you just said. Okay, here you go, jackass. All right. Whew. All right, I got everything done. I don't know why I was having trouble with my website. They give me a bunch of cloud space with it. And for some reason, I just can't update today. I don't know why. It's being a booger butt, as my wife would say. All right, but we got everything up and running, I think. All right, I've got to turn the camera on. Sorry, people. Camera's coming on. Camera 1. Camera 2. Camera 1. No. So they got Karl Rove. on Fox News right now, telling Trump what he needs and need not do. He needs to attack Hillary and quiet down on the Trump issue or the media. You know what I got to say? Trump has beat all the odds. Trump has done a great thing by himself. Let Trump be Trump. Stop trying to tell him what to do. This is why you lose elections. I'm not trying to be mean towards anybody, but Karl Rove hasn't done diddly in a while. So let Trump be Trump. Because every time I see they try to put their little grubby little paws on Trump, he seems to drop in the polls. Oh, and I got a story for you. Oh, my God. This was hysterical. Well, to me, it was hysterical. So, though that are subscribers of Reaver.1, and if you're not a subscriber, you really need to, you'll get up to date of when new articles, shows, new products are put up. There's no access to your emails. They do not sell your emails. I don't do anything with the show that is a profit. I will never sell your emails. It pisses me off when people do it with mine. I won't do it to yours. So, I was on this website, or Facebook page, Trump World, and I'd post my article around. An article... Oh, what title did I give it? Hang on. Oh, why we should pay attention to article headlines. Okay, pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And I show, when you put these with my website, you have like a preview picture that I put up. It's not a preview of the article, but it's a preview picture. And it's an NBC poll, the picture is, of Hillary Clinton winning, Trump behind. And as the article states, why we should not pay attention to articles, or why we should pay attention to articles over headlines. And I talk about how I came across this. Now, why it caught my attention is Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I remember Saturday because I was showing my mom. And I was talking to my brother about Trump and these polls. And I posted 3 of the polls that had to deal with NBC where Trump was leading with a big lead. 20, 30, 40 point leads in these polls. But you wouldn't know it if you didn't go into the article. So that's what the article is talking about, how you can't rely on the original articles and the original pictures. So everywhere I posted, everybody is liking it except this one ding-dong. And I'm calling him a ding-dong to be nice. Well, he starts bitching not to believe the polls, this, and that the polls are fake, and that Hillary doesn't have the lead. And I'm trying to be nice to the guy, Michael Christopher Cody, not to name names. And ends up he was an admin. He goes on a hissy fit little tirade about how the polls aren't correct. And I'm trying to tell him, you need to read the article. It isn't exactly about Trump. And it isn't exactly about the polls, but it's about how you need to pay attention to articles and stop reading headlines and the pictures. Now, I don't say all that, but that is the gist of the article. And I don't need to read the article. I know. And it's like, do you know that there's 3 polls in there that show Trump's in a massive lead. Otherwise, if you read the article and you knew what the article was about, you would know that I wasn't bashing Trump. I wasn't agreeing with NBC polls. But I was trying to show that the trickery that these websites do, and it's not just progressives, it's a bunch of different sites. Everybody does it to try to get you to click on their site so that they can make money. So we go back and forth, and I'm just trying to show them that this isn't what you think. And next come the insults. He starts insulting me, or trying to, I should say. The name calling. And he's acting like a little child. So I kind of walk away, and I went to reference something in the his tirade, and I noticed I'm no longer in the group. This child, not to name names, I don't like to name Michael Christopher Cody's name out in public, kicked me out of the group. I don't give a shit, but it's like, oh my God, you child. You got proven wrong on your statements. You acted like a child. So what is your big thing? And said, hey, you know what? I actually ended up reading your article. I can see what you were talking about. Sorry. Or just shutting up and leaving it alone and going on. No. He's got to toss me out. So I hit the person that started the page and kind of bitched him out for it. Because, you know, it's the principle of the thing now of I wasn't out to attack this guy. This guy attacked me, and now he's tossing me from the group for what? Especially when you put as your main thing for your page that you better have thick skin. And this pussy doesn't have thick skin. He got all butt hurt because he got proven wrong. He doesn't need to read the article. He's smart. Idiots. And this is what I've talked about. It's not just on one side. It's on both sides. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And this one here, it's just one of those that kind of, yeah, over the top. Some people just don't know how to act like adults. And the funny thing is, my article is agreeing with his statement of what he was throwing that temper tantrum. But instead of opening his eyes and looking at it, he just wanted to act like a big shot. And now I'm an admin, and I kicked you off the page. Well, admin, you're a dumbass, and I find you very funny. So this one's going to be bad, and it's going to be bad on me. As everybody that listens knows, on the weekends I try to step away from social media because of everything that goes on dealing with the show all week. It gets very tiresome, and you need a little breather. And I normally try to step away totally. Well, that's what I was pretty much doing, except for Jackass there. And why I kind of came across Jackass and wrote that article is I got pulled back into it because, well, Sunday, I wake up. What was it? 12:30, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I know I sleep late on Sunday. And I pop my phone on real quick. All of a sudden, I see all the shit that happened in Milwaukee. I'm like, what the hell? So I kind of started paying attention to see what the hell more was going on. And I felt kind of like a dumbass because even Crash is calling me on his up. He's like, dude, did you hear what's going on? He's like, usually I'll see posts and everything. What did you? I'm like, number one, yesterday when I woke up, I was in severe pain. Bad pain. I'm still not doing good today, but not as bad as yesterday. I was sitting on the couch, just tears coming down my face. The pain was so bad. And I happened to pull up the weather. And there's this big, and it's like red, dark red, storm of death just going up the coast, the west coast of Florida. And it seemed like it was staying out in the Gulf, but it just was all the pain. So it kept me up late last night. And I have a friend who's having a lot of health issues, and she's posting how, she's normally in pain, and then she's just worse. And I put, so am I today, and we talked back and forth. I was like, well, you do know there's a major storm that just went up the coast. She's like, no, that explains everything. And it's funny, for people that know what I'm talking about, would be like, yep, that's it. And it's those that don't will be like, oh, you guys are nuts. You're stupid. And I hear it all the time. No, you can't tell. No, when these storms come around. And I'm in Florida. I'm in the Tampa, Florida area. And I've been in such pain, I flip on the weather. Sometimes just the app on my phone. And I'll look at that map and be like, oh, there's tornadoes and so forth up in Texas, Louisiana. There's bad storms. It changes the barometric pressure all around. And yeah, as far away as Florida, it will change the barometric pressure by mere fractions of an inch. And that's enough. That is enough to cause severe pain. And until you actually deal with it, you can't. Most people don't believe it. Until they are dealing with it, then they're going, I feel like an idiot. I feel sorry for people. Oh, not change subjects, but I'm flipping through, the trending on Facebook. Glenn Beck, conservative media personality, comments on Black Lives Matter activists. And his comment is, I can relate to them and understand them on many different fronts. The transformation of Beck is happening. And if you don't understand what I mean by transformation, I should say the transformation is almost finished. This man has been leaning left. He has been leaning left for a while now. Acting more liberal and liberal every day. And, well, that statement pretty much means he is home to liberals. I've seen a couple articles, and I've kind of snickered at them because I don't see it actually happening. But in other things, I kind of can see it happening. Or let me say, it would not shock me. And it's saying that for his re-election, Ted Cruz will be changing parties to the Democrat Party. And his tactics, he's been using Obama tactics. And I know I've been saying we need to start fighting fire with fire. You could do that and still be a conservative. Whereas I think Cruz just does things to try to manufacture an image so that he can run for president. And others are more and more people are starting to see it. And I know that diehard Cruz supporters are going to freak out over that, but I'm sorry. He manufactures, and he has been for a while now. And I fell for it. It's not like I've never liked the guy and, just this douchebag. No, I was actually a Cruz supporter. But the more and more I started seeing of some of this stuff, I started seeing some of this stuff like this. And it's, God damn the board. Oh, that's why. I've been doing it, and it's been real low in my ears. So I knew something was up. Somehow I bumped that down. Now it sounds better. But Cruz, his actions have been speaking loud and clear to me and a lot of others that he has manufactured his political career. That he hasn't actually done anything that's been conservative. It just drives me nuts. Especially when I get attacked by the Cruz supporters because they're so diehard. They don't want to hear anything negative. They can't stand to hear anything negative. And they think it's because I'm a Trump supporter. No, I was a Ted Cruz supporter for the last couple of years. You know, it is starting to really make sense. But Glenn Beck really went on a tirade saying he understands Black Lives Matter. If we're all sitting at a table and they cut a pie and everybody hands pie out, but you don't get a piece, and you say, well, you didn't get a piece, and everybody says, well, all pies matter. That's Black Lives Matter. And I was sitting there going, that is stupid. That's stupid. That does not go to why all lives matter versus Black Lives Matter. That basically what it would be is you got a piece of pie, you're screaming racism because you didn't get a piece of pie. You know, it's bullshit. More whites. And yes, through mathematics, they can adjust for the size of the groups. Because they're saying, well, there's more white people, so of course they're going to get killed at a higher rate. No. The mathematics been done. Even when you adjust so that the two groups become equals, the whites are still getting killed more. We don't get harassed as much. Yes, you're getting harassed. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to say you're not getting harassed. I'm not saying there isn't racism out there. There's racism against whites out there. And we saw in Milwaukee when they were screaming, beat up the white people. We've been hearing a lot of that type rhetoric lately. They want segregation. They don't want to be in this group with whites. And that is directly against what MLK talked about. Black Lives Matter is the exact opposite of what Martin Luther King Jr. talked about. Now, I'm not an expert. Never claimed to be. Never claim I will be. But the man wanted to do away with segregation. He wanted a better meeting of the people. It's I don't understand. There's too much. Obama and his administration has created this issue since the day he got in office. And it's gotten worse in his last term. What's going on? He laid the foundation for this racial divide. And, well, it's ignited. And I'm sorry, I'm getting tired of hearing how there's such a racial divide and how I'm oppressing black people. Because I'm hearing it from a black president standing next to the black attorney general. And in these cities that's been going to hell lately, black sheriffs. Dallas, Milwaukee, Baltimore. Baltimore, you had a black president with a black attorney general, with a black prosecutor, with a black mayor, and a black chief talking about how all this oppression of the whites happened. Now, listen, is there still some? Yes. Do I know what it's like to be black? No, I don't. But I can tell you this, as a white, I'm getting pretty much the same bullshit going on anymore. I can get turned down from a job because the color of my skin. I cannot get accepted to a college because the color of my skin. I get blamed for everybody's problem in this world because of the color of my skin. But that's not all racism. I don't understand it. I really don't. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, iTunes, Spreaker, and YouTube. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network. Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
You have been listening to to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf for the stupid bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the ReaverOfCommonSense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date with everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Remember to join the live chat. Go to Reaver.1. Brain fart. Listen, if you want to join the live chat and you want to watch a broadcast, you can go to the same spot for both, or you just go to join the live chat. Go to Reaver.1/live. Now, I can't remember. Is it live stream? Well, if you click live stream at the top. Oh, isn't this great? I just know all my buttons. I do all this. I just forgot which one is the address for the live stream. I'm going to have to set two things up. I know I am, to just make it easier. The live stream address, which also has the chat, is Reaver.1/live video. That is Reaver.1/live video. If you go there, you have the broadcast, the live broadcast going, and you also have the live chat. So, now that I totally screwed that up, on to the important part. If you want to support me screwing up the show, if you want to support SHR Media, go to reaver.one/shop. There is t-shirts galore. We have bumper stickers. We have survival bracelets. We have thin blue line, thin red line, American flag survival bracelet. Now, basically how you do the conversion, for every inch around your wrist, it equals 1 foot of paracord. On average, for a small wrist, it's 8 inches. So you're talking 8 feet of paracord. Now, I know everybody's like, I don't need that. You go for a walk in a park, twist your ankle. Well, it's bad enough. Break your ankle. You know, you have to splint it. Well, you have 8 feet of paracord to tie it up. You know, you're just out in the woods and the strap on your backpack breaks and you need something to tie it up temporarily so you can carry it. There you go. The uses go on and on and on. The paracord, it's $5.50. It's the same paracord used by our military. And it is 550 tensile, the 550 pound tensile strength. It's all the cores inside of it. These are very decorative. There's going to be some newer stuff coming with these bracelets, but just right now I got the basics. I got the one braid, which is called a cobra. And I'll be adding other braids in as time goes by. And I got to see how to do it, but adding in, I'm not doing it right now, but adding in, the flint sticks, the fire starters, and so forth. Don't take my word. Don't take my stupidity, since I'm suck as a salesman. Go to Reaver.one and take a look for yourself. So one of the things I wanted to mention about Milwaukee is the city is in shambles. Everybody wants to blame the police. What about the fact that just like Detroit, Chicago, Ferguson, Baltimore, the list goes on and on and on. All these cities that are run into the ground, they all have one common denominator. They've all been run by Democrats for decades now. Milwaukee has been a stronghold of the Democrat Party since the early 1960s. But yet they want to blame Republicans for all their faults. Milwaukee does the same thing. Detroit, they all want to blame Republicans. But they have not seen a Republican politician in how many years? It just, I don't understand it. They want to blame everything on the Republican Party. The Tea Partiers for a long time. It was the Tea Parties that doing it all. And in these cities, no one's ever even seen a Tea Party member, let alone elected one. So it's maybe it's time. Maybe it's time that we start electing some Republicans in these Democrat-run cities and see how it goes. Stop blaming the Republicans for what has been a Democrat problem. I just don't understand it. The same problems have been happening over and over again. You keep electing the same goddamn people into the same positions. Nothing's going to change, people. And this goes with Republicans. You keep electing John McCain, Lindsey Graham, Paul Ryan's in, you're going to have the same goddamn issue time and time and time and time again. And then the rest of us, Clinton accused of helping Russia's spying operation. Good. You know what? Remember I've said repeatedly on this show, when you see a Democrat pointing its finger at somebody or a problem, you want to start looking into them because they're doing it themselves. And wasn't it Hillary that was going, Donald Trump's working with the Russians. Donald Trump's a spy. Donald Trump's trying to help them hack. Yeah. Seems that Hillary was doing it also. Or not also, but Hillary was doing it. Hillary will do anything and everything as long as she gets elected. That's all she cares. And this whole Trump threatened. That one I'm getting sick of too. The mainstream media has been in a tizzy over this. In fact, they're still chirping over it. But maybe we need to take a little trip down memory lane and look back at incidents in which Democrats called for violence against Republicans. Because if they're going to bitch and moan, they sure as hell better not have done it themselves. Let's take a look. One incident comes to mind. And it just, numerous times President Obama issued ominous threats against his political opposition. Perhaps the most notable incident came in 2008 when then candidate Obama told an audience in Philadelphia, if they bring a knife to it, if they bring a knife to the fight, we'll bring a gun. Because from what I understand, folks in Philly like a good brawl. At that time, Obama's opponent, Senator John McCain, accused the Democrat candidate of playing political fears. Candidate Obama also notably told his followers to get aggressive while campaigning for him, telling them to get in their face and argue with neighbors. But no, he's not divisive. No, he's not divisive. Mr. Innocent never said anything that would bring violence. It's always everybody else. But, dang, it's this thing called a memory. The left-wing media also had made crass comments and jokes in which they called for violence against Republican President George W. Bush. And they did it pretty often. In one particular egregious incident, a late show with Craig Kilborn showed a photograph of President Bush with the words "snipers wanted" superimposed over the image. In 2006, Hollywood produced a movie entitled Death of a President, in which George W. Bush is shown being gunned down by a sniper. So it's okay for them. It is okay for them to incite violence. And it's okay for them to conjure up supposed threats against them. Seems the Democrats want their cake and eat it too. I'm sick of it. That's why I can't take any Democrats serious anymore. The threats like this. Obama was doing it back in 2008. And everybody forgets about it. The violence that was called upon for President Bush. The hangings they would do with these dummies dressed like George Bush. And they would hang them. But that's okay. It's just... They ignore that, and they come up with these fake accusations because Trump did not threaten Clinton. That is such a far reach. It's ridiculous. If you're going to make something up that's at least plausible. It makes me kind of laugh, but it's sick at the same time. How disgustingly perverse the Democrat Party has become. The false stories that they give. I don't know what's worse, that they give these fake stories or that people actually believe them. That's the sad part. That people actually believe all this BS that's going on. It's kind of sickening at the same time. And I'm also still at the same time, I'm trying to figure out what the hell went wrong with my file. Now, where the hell did that drive go altogether? Still. I don't know. This is weird. Where are we? Where are we? It's going to be a weird. I think it's like 85 days left till the election. Oh, it's going to be interesting 85 days. But I mean, Bill Clinton going out there freaking out, calling everybody liars, calling everybody idiots, him and his wife, because his wife got caught lying about emails, and he's going on trying to defend his wife's illegal activity. The man is... We know how much of a liar he is. He talks about how he cares about his wife and all this, but yet, look at what he's been doing over the years. On a different note, Dr. Dorothy Woods, whose husband Tyrone Woods, he was killed in the 2012 Benghazi attack, stated that recently released emails regarding the Clinton Foundation are just another example of how, as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton continued to operate under the attitude of rules that apply to everybody else don't apply to me. And do we really want this woman as our next president? I find it funny, for the most part, that Democrats have a bunch of illegal aliens up on stage, and they were breaking the law by doing it to defend Hillary Clinton. They had one Gold Star family, which I've already talked in pretty nauseum about. We have that one Medal of Honor winner that got up on stage and was booed off. Wonder how he feels about the Democrat Party now after they showed him what they really felt about him. And what have we been having? The relatives of Benghazi dead. What's this? 3 out of the 4. Because they always, Chris Stevens' family doesn't blame Hillary. Yeah, well, the other 3 do. 3 is greater than 1. But, of course, they'll ignore all that. But Woods, Dr. Dorothy Woods, she said, "It doesn't surprise me. I think that as a voter, it's just another example of how, as Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton continued to operate under the attitude of rules that apply to everybody else don't apply to me. We have seen this with her emails and setting up her server. We see this now with questionable relationships of her foundation and its influence on her decision as Secretary of State. In my case, the Select Committee on Benghazi, had shown that she had negligence in judgment. And despite what her husband, President Clinton, has said about the comments of FBI Director James Comey, he pretty much summarized that she had negligence in judgment as well. So do we really want this woman as our next president? No." She added, "I think that Donald Trump, who I do support and who I will vote for, is not afraid to say, what are deficits? What are problems? He's not afraid to identify radical Islam is a big one, both domestic and abroad. And to me, combating that is one of the most important things." Listen, Donald Trump's blamed for, he's speaking down about America, he's knocking America. No, he's not. He is pointing out issues that are within the United States. He is pointing out the problems that are popping up in the United States. You can't fix the problems unless you know what the problems are. So until we're willing to do that, we will not be able to right the ship. He's not knocking America, but he's pointing out the negatives that we've had underneath Obama, Bush, Clinton. You have to know, as a surgeon, you're not sitting there being negative about a patient by pointing out, hey, they got cancer. Hey, look, they broke their ankle. You're not being negative about the patient, but you're pointing out what the problem is so you can fix the problem. They try playing a lot of mind games, and people like Clintons think they're smarter than everybody else when they do it. Well, I caught on to their game a long time ago. And with that, you're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, Spreaker, YouTube, and iTunes. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
didn't build that.
A team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying confidence, stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the ReverbCommonSense.com. While you're there on Reverb Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reverb of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver Common Sense Show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also catch a live broadcast if you go to Reaver.one. Just click on the live stream. Once there, you can also join live chat. You can become part of the show. Well, if you want to help the show, do you want to support the show? Do you want to help SHR Media or support SHR Media? Go to Reaver.one/shop. Pick yourself up a t-shirt. Pick yourself up Second Amendment, the last defense against tyranny t-shirt. Or you can pick yourself up Second Amendment, the original Homeland Security t-shirt. Or if you want to go a little political, we have Life is a Bitch, Don't Vote for One, with a picture of Hillary Clinton. Or Vote for Monica. She'll get the job done when Hillary couldn't. Or if you want to go just something simple, you can go to the Reaver Common Sense t-shirt. The new logo for the show. It's very simple. If you want, you can go survival bracelets. They're very useful. You never know when you can use a little bit of paracord. And it's one of those things, if you don't have it, you needed it. You're going to be screwed. I know, I suck as a salesman. I've never been good at it. It's just, listen, we have good products. I get the top of the line t-shirts. I would not put out there something that I wouldn't buy myself. In fact, everything is tested on me before I go and selling it. It's the money goes right back into the show. Doesn't go in my pocket. I don't get paid for this. I enjoy doing this. This is a way for me to get my voice out. This is a way for me to speak for those that don't have a voice. I don't want to say that they don't have a voice. Some people just, for so many different reasons, don't speak out. Fear, embarrassment. I'm not doing this for fame, fortune, none of that. I'm never going to get that. I do this because back in 2012, right after Benghazi happened, I got tired of being quiet about everything that's going on in this country. I got tired of being on the sidelines. So I opened my mouth. I felt my voice wasn't being heard. So I started doing a podcast. I got lucky and had Sackhead Shimon come along and offered me a spot to make my voice heard. And that's all I'm doing. I'm a nobody. And I'm one of those little people in life. Those that listen to the show regularly, I'm not here speaking hoity-toity. Hopefully everybody got a laugh out of that one. I try to speak it in plain language. Because the one thing I hate is when these idiots, they go and put these they do these shows or they write these articles and they try to impress everybody that they're a walking dictionary. And I hate that. I hate that when they do that. You're not impressing. You're usually pissing everybody. I don't want to say you're pissing off a large portion of the people off, and they get turned off by the message. So it's. I just want to be out there speaking what I believe, and so many people tell me that they have the same beliefs. So that's all I'm doing. Out here speaking, talking about these news articles, talking about the current events going on, and giving you my spin and my take on it. Some days I do good, some days I do crap. But I'm here. Try to be here every day, Monday through Friday. And I love the people that bash the show. Well, if you could do better, step up and do it. And I always hear a ton of excuses when that comes about. Actually, one person turned around and was like, well, I got my own show. Well, good for you. And then go bother your show. But what I found funny is their show is the type that I was just talking about, the ones that speak all walking dictionary like. And they piss off so many people with that type of show. I don't know. The other thing that I do this for is because of my stance on the Second Amendment. And I don't have the stance just because I have a respect for guns and respect for self-defense. I do it because I have a great understanding from my father being shot of why we need our rights to defend ourselves. I understand that from my dad being shot. So every chance I get, I speak out about it. And people complain about the NRA buying elections, but they're quiet when Michael Bloomberg does it. And a gun control initiative pushed by Michael Bloomberg funded Every Town for Gun Safety are now on the ballot in 4 states this November. And what's funny is, if he's so righteous, the NRA has the NRA. The NRA doesn't have another 20 operatives group. But Michael Bloomberg has countless groups that he funds to try to overload everybody's sensory. But what's going on is, and the NRA sees this as evidence that Bloomberg is simply buying the gun control Congress has repeatedly rejected. Now, we've seen, if you looked at the facts, that these gun control measures, most of them died in committee with a bipartisan support. Congress has voted on them repeatedly, with them going nowhere. But now you got 4 states with gun control initiatives, and they are Washington, California, Maine, and Nevada. In Washington, the initiative would expand bans on gun ownership by changing language tied to domestic violence and extreme risk protection orders. This comes just after 2 years after Bloomberg's Everytown donated $1 million to secure universal background checks in Washington state. In California, the ballot initiative concerns the implementation of a type of ammunition background check that differs from the one Governor Jerry Brown signed on July 1st. In Maine and Nevada, the ballot initiatives would implement the same failed universal background checks that already exist in California and Washington state. According to The Hill, Every Town for Gun Safety spokesman Kate Fulmar said 2016 will be the year of gun sense. If elected leaders themselves won't change the laws that make it too easy for dangerous people to get weapons, the American people will change them themselves. These small groups keep speaking as if they're speaking for the entire country. You're not speaking for me. You're not speaking for my family. I know sure as hell you won't listen to my stories because you've banned me from every town. You don't want my stories out. You only want gun bans. And this bullshit, I just want sensible gun control. Yeah. Seeing how far that goes. It's... I'm getting sick and tired of these groups. We need to fight them with, just keep fighting them in every state. And I don't mean violence. I mean keep fighting them at their own game. Shoot down their measures. Because it's just going to get worse and worse as they go along, people. And you could see it over the last couple of decades, what they've been trying to do. The NRA is saying that these gun control initiatives are just the newest incarnation of gun control push that has failed miserably with Congress over the past few years. If anything, she believes the new push proves Bloomberg is willing to buy what he cannot secure through other means. Baker said after decades of legislation and electoral defeats, the gun control lobby has resorted to buying gun control by spending Michael Bloomberg's billion to impose his New York-style gun control through the ballot initiative process. It should be noted that the ballot initiatives are a testimony to the insidious nature of gun control laws. Washington State just implemented universal background checks in 2014. Yet those are already not enough. Now, Bloomberg and his gun control surrogates want to extend the list of people banned from gun possession. California already has a universal background checks, firearm registration, confiscation laws, and assault weapon ban, and a recently signed high-capacity magazine ban. So, gun control proponents are now trying to control ammunition purchases. The same evil will take root in Nevada and Maine if either state adopts universal background checks. This is a step-by-step removal of our Second Amendment under the guise of sensible gun control. Because they know if they use the words gun ban and try to go for a gun ban, they will get shut down. They are going by the study that they paid for. They paid millions of dollars for a think tank to come up with a way to ban guns. And the result was to make stricter and stricter and stricter gun control. One step at a time to the point where nobody is willing to go through the process to get a gun. Then you can ban the guns because nobody cares. I can't get a gun, so why should I go out and get it? They tried denying it. Just keep fighting it, people. Do not give an inch. And why I say that, I know we're reasonable people, but when you give an inch, they're going to take a couple 100 miles. And that's what they've been doing for the last couple of decades. Taking it inch by inch, taking a mile, taking 10 miles, and just keep taking it further. And every time this is just all we want. You let them have it. And a couple years, this is all we want. Time and time and time again. And before we know it, our gun rights are out the window. And it has been ruled already that the bullets are part of the gun and can't be regulated. But California's doing it, and as they have said, they pass laws that are against the Constitution, and they do not care. We are fighting for the soul of this country, and there's not many on the news cycle that are helping to back us. Fox is not there anymore. MSNBC sure as hell is against us. And CNN is definitely against us. It is a fight. And let me tell you, the one thing I would love to see, if we were to win this war and start getting this country straightened out, first thing we do is prosecute the owners of these so-called news agencies. They have been failing to report on the news. They've been blatantly lying and trying to manipulate the American people through false reporting. I know there's freedom of speech, but intimidation and false reporting is beyond First Amendment. If you're going to call yourself a news agency and want to be protected underneath those laws, then you need to do it with some integrity. You need to do it with some honesty. And you need to do it with a little bit of a neutral reporting, which we don't see that often nowadays. Sometimes I wonder how this country can survive with all that's against her. Lady Liberty, as I've said repeatedly, is not doing good. But Lady Liberty is a fighter. And we will keep fighting. I will. I'll keep taking the fight for as long as I can. It's a worthwhile fight. And our first step is making sure that Hillary does not get in. And to me, I'm sorry, you vote for whoever you want. But voting for Gary Johnson or Jill Stein is the same as voting for Hillary. We have massive fraud that we have to overcome. It's... One thing that pisses me off is, for how many years did the establishment, when a nominee was picked and people grind and, bitched and moaned about it, and they turned around and told us to shut up, that was the nominee, we need to get behind him and fight. And now the people picked the nominee, and now we have the establishment bitching and moaning and griping and not taking their own advice. In fact, you got a nice amount of them that are running to hide behind Hillary, which should be screaming to people what these people really are. If you're telling me Hillary Clinton is a better option, I'm telling you, you're not a conservative. You're telling me you're going to vote for Gary Johnson because Trump says mean things. I'm telling you, you're not a conservative. Vote for who you want, but in this fight we got going on right now, it is basically, we're fighting against the end of the country, end of America as we know it. Or continuing, or the start, I should say, of fixing of Lady Liberty. Said it before, and I'm going to say it again. And I'm not a real religious person. I have my ideas. And it really sunk in with me a while ago that God doesn't give you the warrior that you want. He gives you the warrior that you need. And a lot of people don't like that. But you know what? Right now, we need a warrior that is going to stand up and fight. And we've seen the Republicans time and time again, and they're doing it right now. They're apologizing already. For every time something pops up that the Democrats say did wrong, they start apologizing like a bunch of ballless men. And you got Trump, who just keeps trucking along and ignoring the bullshit. I've said time and time again, yes, he speaks rough. He speaks against the liberal, soft skin wimps. And that's the problem. The conservatives have been beat down for so long, they don't know how to fight, and they don't know how to have that thick skin. Well, it's going to be a long 85 days. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Red Nation Rising Radio, YouTube, Speaker, and iTunes. We will be right back.
listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. And we also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We're always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplains.dailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its host, the Jersey Boy. boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the ReaverOfCommonSense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here, and we have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast, it's very easy. Go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. While you're there, you can also join the chat room. So if you want to listen to the show and join the chat, you just go to, Reaver.one, click on the live stream, and you can join the chat room. Now, if you support the show, or if you want to support the show, I should say, you want to show off that you're a Reaver listener? Go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. And pick yourself up the Reaver of Common Sense show shirt. Buddy. Getting tongue-tied. There's survival bracelets. There's even a constitutional book. It's a pocket-size Constitution book. Take it wherever you go. All right. Last segment of the show. One of the things I wanted to get to, I got a text message from my brother. He kind of annoyed. He saw that Bill Clinton segment. Bill Clinton is trying to defend his wife against the FBI and all these accusations. And he's trying to spin it in the insults that he levels against. And I don't understand this. If you're trying to convert people over to support your wife, why in the hell would you insult those people? He's... He was calling us dumb, which I find funny. Bill Clinton calling someone dumb. And, but Bill Clinton says the assertion that his wife and the Democrat presidential candidate, Hillary Clinton, lied about mishandling classified email, while Secretary of the State has the biggest load of bull that he's ever heard. Well, the problem is all the facts are there. FBI said she did it. You know, you ought to shut your mouth and be lucky. And I want to know how Comey feels that he's getting it right in the ass from all these Democrats after protecting him. He ruined his career protecting him, and now they're running him over with the bus. And not only running him over, they're backing up on his ass. They're calling him an outright liar that she never sent anything. How does he feel? I would like to ask him just, how do you feel that you sold your soul and now they are running your soul over repeatedly, calling you a liar after you protected them? It's just... But the former president made the comment Friday while responding to questions from an audience member about his wife's trustworthiness during a Las Vegas event. On Saturday, Republicans were quick to criticize President Clinton's characterization of the email scandal, with Wisconsin Representative Sean Duffy telling Fox News, Fox and Friends, he's just trying to spin Hillary out of trouble, and it doesn't work. Listen, Hillary Clinton has lied to us repeatedly and said none of this happened. And then we found out about the actual email server, and, well, I didn't do anything right. Just every step of the way, she got caught lying. She was sending, and I don't care if it was just one. I don't care if it was just one. She has sent several classified emails. And she's not indicted. If that doesn't scream special treatment for her, I think America's deaf. And her husband out there trying to spin it. And I don't know what they expect, just because her husband's going out there going, oh, I trust this woman. Oh, this is the biggest load of bull I've ever heard. Of course. It's the husband. What do you expect? And at this point, nothing's going to change my mind about Hillary. Nothing's going to change my mind about her illegally having a personal server. Her illegally sending secured emails over that personal, non-secure server. There's nothing she could say or do that will change my mind. The lies that Bill Clinton will spin. Jesus Christ, he lied to get out of a blowjob that he got in the Oval Office. Do you think I'm going to believe you about emails? Can you give me the definition of is? Or excuse me, what the definition of is? You know, it's... I do not trust that guy as far as I could throw him. And he's trying to dismiss Comey's statement that she was extremely careless with the emails and told the questioner that the federal government's agency-by-agency rules for dealing with classified material is too complicated to explain. Yeah, it's very complicated. You do not send top-secret documents on an unsecured email server. Yeah, it's real complicated, and it's not agency by agency. There is a main rule, but he's just trying to spin it. He's trying to save his wife from her illegal activity. They ought to shut their mouths about it because they're lucky she's not indicted. And just because she's got support from former U.S. military and national security officials, including Bush administrative national security advisor, and he's saying that proves his wife could be trusted. His wife can't be trusted with a single email. His wife can't be trusted to send in, support that is automatically sent in. She's the one that helped knock that down. She's the one that couldn't wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to save 4 Americans. And this is really important, too, because I agree with Trump on this. If you want to give a verdict, the American people want to give a verdict on Hillary's guilt on corruption, incompetence, and bad judgment, well, we can have a trial in the United States. We can have a trial. We the people. And we all get to vote on whether she's guilty or innocent. It's called November 8th, Election Day. You go in and vote, guilty or not guilty. If she is guilty of all these crimes, vote Trump. And if you think she's innocent, then you can vote for Hillary. It's that simple. And on Saturday, Duffy tried arguing that Clinton's comments the day before is not the first time the ex-president has tried to squash the email issue, pointing to him buttonholing Attorney General Loretta Lynch amid the ongoing FBI investigation. For Bill Clinton to come out now and say that this is a bunch of bull, why then did he have this secret meeting with Loretta Lynch on the tarmac in Arizona to make sure he could tap down any kind of prosecution that comes from the DOJ? If he wasn't concerned about Hillary Clinton and her scandals about the emails, he wouldn't have had to had a secret meeting. People, as I said, it's very simple. We can hold our own trial. We can hold our own trial of the guilt of Hillary Clinton. Everybody knows the facts. Guilty, vote for Donald Trump. Not guilty, you can go ahead and vote for Hillary. And I think that's a fair assessment to come up with. It also comes down, are you for the Second Amendment? Vote Trump. If you want to ban the Second Amendment, vote Hillary. It's that simple, people. You got several charges laid against her. If you think she's guilty, vote Trump. If you think she's guilty of mishandling Benghazi, vote Trump. If you think she's guilty in mishandling her emails, vote Trump. If you think she's guilty of sending secured classified emails, vote Trump. Remember, she was emailing an unsecure server about our spies, their names, and what countries they were in. One of them has lost his life, and the argument is going to go on forever whether she's responsible or not. It's very easy. If you think because she was on an unsecure server talking about our spies, vote Trump. If you think she's innocent, vote Hillary. If you like your guns and you don't want to see them banned, you don't want to see the restrictions piled on to the point where it's impossible for you to get a gun, vote Trump to save your Second Amendment rights. If you want to ban the Second Amendment, the First Amendment, in fact, all of your Bill of Rights, go ahead and vote Hillary. If you want to see ISIS destroyed, vote Trump. If you want to see ISIS destroy America, vote Hillary. If you want to become independent of energy, vote Trump. If you want to see a further dependency on the Middle East, become the Middle East's little bitch, go ahead and vote Hillary. And the biggest one, if you want to be part of a nation, if you believe in America, vote Trump. If you want to be part of the globalist, no country, you want to go into this one world nation bullcrap, vote Hillary. It doesn't get any simpler. It really doesn't. And it's crap with the second, with Jill Stein and Gary Johnson. Gary Johnson is only on 39 states' ballots. They're fighting in court for the other 11. No, this is not from an article. This is from lp.org. Now, I haven't checked today. In fact, hold on. Let me check. So, I'm not being biased. I'm not biased by an article. I am going by their own work. They're still listed. They're only on 39 state ballots. It's, I have nothing really against well, I shouldn't say that. I was thinking about going libertarian. Couple things I just couldn't get behind. And one of the biggest things is the people that they have in the party that if you do not agree 100%, they get agitated, aggravated, and aggressive and will attack the... If you don't agree, you're against the Constitution. And on their own page. Now, this is the LP.org, their national page. Without the big budgets and special interest dollars that Democrats and Republicans receive, it's just not likely for a libertarian candidate to win something big like a presidential race or a governor's race, unless the candidate is extraordinarily rich or something else extraordinary happens. That kind of screams it all. I love their candor. I love that they're realistic. I don't know. It's... I don't know. The party has its potential, but it has too much liberal tendencies in it for me. It's... I don't know. Like I said, it has some potential, but then it kind of kills itself in other parts. Let's see, where are we? Let's finish this up. But they don't have a real chance this election to step up. They're not on all 50 states, which they were promoting for a while that they did. They need some candidates that aren't so nuts. There it is. Oh, so we're coming up to the end of the show. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy 85 days. I love Trump, and he makes it kind of interesting. He keeps it from being boring, I'll tell you that. It's not always a bad thing. He's always in the news cycle. He's always in the minds of people. So it's not over with. It's not done. We got a long way to go, people. Stop being so thin-skinned. And I've said it repeatedly. A lot of times I think he makes these comments on purpose. He makes these borderline comments. Then he is all over the news. And he doesn't pay a dime for it. And they keep falling for it. And keep falling for it. And keep falling for it. Oh. I don't know, people. Looking at some stats for my county. Pretty even. That's scary. Mail-in ballots. 46,788 have already been mailed in. And it's pretty evenly split almost between Republican and Democrat, and that's pretty scary. Because usually Republicans do a lot of early voting. So it's going to be a long, long, long road. But until tomorrow, it's going to be a short road. That's right. We will be back tomorrow. Same time, 11 a.m. And I always say it and I always mean it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm humbled. I'm amazed. And I try to do the best that I can for you people, for everybody, not you people. I didn't mean it like that. Just I try to get the word out on what's going on. I speak from my heart. I speak from what I think. And with that, it's another show's gone by, and it's amazing how quick they can go by. It really amazes me how fast these shows go by. But until tomorrow, everybody, have a great day. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media. Bye. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.